The Cowboys are deep into their training camp, and the energy around the team is palpable. We're roughly halfway through this grueling period where every player is fighting for a spot, trying to make an impression and showing the kind of commitment that the season demands. If there's one thing that's clear from these practices, it's that there are players rising and falling, and the dynamic of the team is constantly shifting. When you look at the quarterback position, Dak Prescott stands out as the steady hand guiding this offense. He came into camp with some question marks about how sharp his deep ball would be, especially considering how tricky those plays can be to nail down during the early stages of practice. But Dak has been steadily proving the doubters wrong over the last few days. His passes have been crisp, his decision-making quicker, and he's really looking like the leader Dallas needs. What's most encouraging is that he's healthy, because when Dak is on the field and firing on all cylinders, the Cowboys' offense is a completely different beast. The defense tends to have the early edge in camp, which is typical, but lately, Dak has been slicing through those defenses with accuracy and confidence, finding his targets downfield with a touch that suggests he's locked in for a big season. Behind Prescott, Joe Milton has shown flashes that offer some hope. Even if he hasn't matched the polish or command of the starter, it's not surprising that he's still finding his footing, especially since he's primarily been going up against the backup defenses rather than the first stringers. Milton's arm strength is undeniable, and his mobility adds an extra dimension. But like many young quarterbacks, he's grappling with holding onto the ball too long. That hesitation has been a thorn in his side for a while, but the overall vibe around him is cautiously optimistic. Compared to previous years, his progress seems to be moving in the right direction, which bodes well for the depth chart and for the team's quarterback room as a whole. Shifting focus to the running backs, the competition has been fierce early on. Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders took the bulk of the reps, displaying their ability to carry the load. Deuce Vaughn flashed some impressive bursts of speed and agility, but injuries have opened doors for others. Jaden Blue, for instance, has taken advantage of the situation, stepping into the role alongside Jontavius Williams with the first team. This is huge for the Cowboys, because Blue's explosive playmaking ability adds a spark that can really elevate the offense. He's been given more opportunities as Miles Sanders and Deuce Vaughn dealt with minor injuries, and Blue has made the most of it, showing why the coaching staff is starting to trust him with bigger responsibilities. If he continues on this trajectory, he could be a key weapon for Dallas as the season unfolds. At wide receiver, the depth is impressive as always. CeeDee Lamb has been nothing short of a standout, showing why he is such a critical piece in this offense, even without Micah Parsons out there to make plays on defense. Lamb's ability to create separation and make contested catches has been a bright spot throughout training camp. George Pickens has had some strong days, carving out moments where his speed and route running caught the eye. Then there's Cavontae Turpin, a hybrid player who brings gadget-style plays to the table and has been heavily involved in practice, demonstrating his versatility. Tan Holden, who might not have made a big splash early on, has put together several solid sessions, hinting that he's ready to take the next step. Elen Krorup has shown some sparks of potential, while Jonathan Mingo has had his moments, but still needs to push for consistency. Elen Tolbert, on the other hand, probably needs to raise his game a bit to solidify his spot in this crowded receiver room. The offensive line has seen some shifts as well. Nathan Thomas has emerged as a beneficiary of the injuries plaguing the group, particularly with Tyler Guyton sidelined. Thomas has stepped into the left tackle spot, a critical position protecting the quarterback's blind side, and has taken advantage of this chance to prove his worth. While he's not yet perfect, Thomas' size and technique have impressed the coaching staff, and he's definitely a player to watch in the upcoming preseason games. The offensive line's ability to gel and perform will be crucial for the Cowboys' success this year, and Thomas' development could be a key piece of that puzzle. On the defensive side of the ball, players like Jatavian Perkins and Winfrey have been making their mark. Winfrey, in particular, has shown more push and disruption than many expected, potentially moving ahead of other players for a roster spot. His natural talent as a penetrator and disruptor is evident, but he'll need to clean up some of the finer points of his game if he wants to secure his place. Still, the buzz around him has grown, especially after some praise from coaches that suggest he's on the right path. Another defensive player who has generated a lot of excitement is Donovan Ezekama, a second-round rookie whose pass rushing ability has been downright unblockable at times. While it's early and expectations should be tempered, Ezekama's disruptive presence in passing situations makes a strong case for getting meaningful snaps in the regular season. He's beating blockers across the board, not just against the backups, but also against more experienced offensive linemen, which hints at a high ceiling for this young defender. Linebacker Maurice Hurst Jr., despite some injuries in the linebacker corps, has also been doing solid work alongside Zamone Clark. Hurst is helping to solidify what could be a deeper and more reliable linebacker group. The addition of Matt Ioannidis should also benefit the unit, giving them versatility and toughness. It remains to be seen how much playing time Hurst will get once the season starts, with players like Kenneth Murray and other contenders in the mix. But his performance in camp has been promising. When it comes to the biggest training camp standout, there's one name that keeps coming up: Kavontae Turpin. The former Buffalo Bill has consistently been a playmaker, showing a knack for stepping up in critical moments. His ability to break up passes and snag interceptions has turned heads and boosted his stock tremendously. If he continues this level of play, it's hard to imagine him not starting on the outside of cornerback once the season kicks off. His confidence and impact on defense have been undeniable, and fans are already buzzing about what he could bring to this Cowboys defense. With joint practices against the Rams on the horizon, it will be interesting to see how Turpin handles increased competition and whether he can maintain this hot streak. The secondary depth beyond Turpin is encouraging as well. Zion Childress has done some impressive work, especially in nickel corner and safety roles, showing versatility and football IQ that coaches love to see. Elijah Clark has been another player turning heads, receiving specific praise for his playmaking ability. The starting safeties, Donovan Wilson and Jaron Kearse, have also maintained steady performances despite some injury concerns around the team. Their presence brings stability to the back end of the defense, which is crucial when dealing with the kind of high-powered offenses the Cowboys face week after week. Unfortunately, injuries have cast a shadow over much of the camp. Several key players, including Trevon Diggs, Simone Rials, Josh Butler, and others, have been sidelined or limited due to lingering issues. The injury list has been one of the longest the Cowboys have faced in recent memory, with multiple starters and key backups dealing with setbacks. This has forced the coaching staff to adapt constantly and has opened the door for younger players to step up. But it also raises questions about the team's depth and durability going forward. Miles Sanders has been dealing with a bruised knee, causing him to miss time, and the hope is that he returns sooner rather than later. Deuce Vaughn has been nursing a hamstring injury, while Paris Campbell was placed on injured reserve, limiting options at wide receiver. The offensive line has also been affected, with Tyler Guyton sidelined for 2 to 6 weeks due to injury. The defensive side is no better, with Rob Jones expected to miss 2 to 3 months because of a neck issue, and several other players battling various ailments. One of the biggest storylines and arguably the biggest loser of this camp so far has been the ongoing saga around Micah Parsons. What was supposed to be a straightforward offseason issue has turned into an unwelcome distraction. The mishandling of the situation has frustrated fans and analysts alike, with questions lingering about how it has impacted team chemistry and preparation. The hope is that this situation gets resolved soon so the team can fully focus on football and avoid those off-field distractions that have plagued them in the past. Another player whose camp hasn't gone as smoothly as hoped is Mozzie Smith. While there have been moments of promise, a weight loss experiment and changes in his conditioning have raised eyebrows. The Cowboys appear to be trying to mold him into a different kind of player, but it's unclear if this approach will pay off long-term. Fans and coaches alike are waiting to see if Smith can regain his form and contribute meaningfully in the upcoming games. Finally, tight end Luke Schoonmaker has remained mostly quiet during camp. Despite some positive buzz, there hasn't been a standout moment that convinces everyone he's ready to take on a significant role. With Jake Ferguson's contract extension and Brevin Jordan's injury, the tight end room is a bit unsettled, but Schoonmaker will need to make a strong